describe, what was your last conversation with the governor regarding the Medicaid issue, and where did you leave that? He's talking about the $13 billion of Ohio tax dollars that would come back if we expanded, along with those that would be insured. So your last conversation with him, from the House's perspective, was what?
Basically, that we were going to continue to work on this.
So it's not out yet?
Well, it's not out at this point. No, the Senate is going to hold hearings, and we're going to have to cooperate, obviously, with the governor and the two houses. But we do not have clear direction at this point with the three groups. We will obviously have to deal with some very challenging problems in the area of providing health care for people who are going to need help to do that.
So the report says Medicaid expansion's demise. That report of that demise is premature.
I would say that I do not know what the Senate's going to do. So the problem, obviously, is that there are two houses here and a governor who are involved. At this point in time, the House Republican caucus does not have clear enough a vision of what's going on in Washington. If there's anyone here who has a clear vision of what's going on in Washington, I'll be in the hall. But I think at this point in time, it's clear that we are really not sure what regulations are coming and so forth. So we really have to take the posture that at this point in time, we cannot have a position on that.
Can you give an example of what you're talking about, these regulations in Washington that you're review about?
An example of that?
Yeah. I mean, what regulations in Washington are you finding questionable?
I think there are a couple hundred places in the Affordable Care Act where it said to be determined by, and then it listed an agency.
You're seriously asking me? I mean, this is so screwed up.
Can you go to the mic?
Oh, I'm
and
sorry.
say that?
this is. I mean, we have all these regulations that have to come out. We have to have them in order to draw a bill. We have to have them in order to know how much money we have to comply. And we also have to know what it means if they don't have the money in Washington. Those are pretty big challenges when you look at the number of regulations that they have actually produced.
Speaker, to be clear, the Medicaid is coming out of your bill, but you're saying it might come back into the Senate. You just don't know.
We don't know.
But it is coming out of the Senate.
And that's, I've been here a long time. That's embarrassing. But the other side of it is that I don't know what we can do. Somebody here maybe, I'm not just kidding, somebody here has an idea of what they're going to do down there in the regulatory course of action, and those regulations can be appealed. We are going through a situation in which they're changing people in Washington, in the administration, and our ability to project what can be done in a cooperative way with Washington is almost impossible at this point. Now, as I say, we've worked right along with the Senate, and we're very fortunate to have very compatible houses and working closely. And so we'll be in a position, once we have an idea what they're up to know what we can be up to. But at this point in time, I don't think we do. I don't know how many regulations we're missing at this point.
But what you're saying is it is not in your budget right now?
Correct.
Okay, so no Medicaid expansion in the House version of the budget currently?
At this time.
And what you're saying is you've taken it out because you're uncertain of what's going on in Washington. Do you know whether you had the votes to, or where your caucus lied? Would you say that, you know, more people in your caucus were against it or were for it, or what was your assessment of the situation?
I think that my assessment is that it's about 20. 20 people might shoot themselves before they voted for it. 20 people might indicate to me that they're for doing something, because we have too many people with problems out there to do nothing. And then we have 20 people who are saying, if we don't know any more than this, I don't know how you can count on us to vote either way. So that is the situation. And I, very frankly, have been just enormously impressed with the willingness of the people in the caucus to spend huge quantities of time trying to figure out where we're going to end up. And at this point, given the circumstances, we don't know the answer to that, and therefore we have to do the best we can. The Senate will be doing the best they can. We will be working together on an ongoing and constant basis, and hopefully we will have, before July 1st, some sense of what the federal government's going to do.
Mr. Speaker, I think you said in December that you said that there was probably, the fracking tax probably was going to pass. I think you said that, or you hinted at.